Each year, the American Legion selects and sponsors local youth to compete in a statewide oratorical speech contest. The theme was the United States Constitution. We have with us again this year Athena Saldanha, a junior at James B. Conant High School. Ms. Saldanha is this year's American Legion State Champion and the VFW Post 2202 District Finalist in their Voices of Democracy speech contest. She has graciously agreed to address this assembly again. Let's bring her up right now with a warm welcome. Athena Saldanha.
224 years ago, our forefathers made a tryst with destiny. For years, men and women have fought to make that destiny our reality. We were destined to be free, destined to be equal, destined to be Americans. So long as someone, somewhere in this country, stood up to create that destiny. Today, we honor those who stood up. We applaud those who have nurtured what man never thought was possible. And we mourn for those who lost their lives to save ours. For those who stood up, today is your day. Today we pay our respects and give thanks for your sacrifice. Today the world stops. Time has no meaning. And the thoughts of the entire country are focused on you. For you have given to this country more than just your lives. You gave us freedom. You ensured us liberty. With your hands, you gave us a home. And with your actions, you gave us life. For our lives will forever be indebted to you and to your families. Today is our tribute to all those who have fought and all those who have fallen. Those who have fallen have withstood hardship so that we may know opportunity. Those who have fallen have seen pain so that we may see happiness. Those who have fallen for us. For only America can give birth to such men and women. These heroes overthrew an empire and gave birth to revolution. They struggled to hold a young nation together. They rolled back the tide of oppression and stood posed through every adversity. They took on the terrorism that threatens our world today. Their stories will never be forgotten, for they are etched into every American mind, because their stories are America's stories. Today, as we look to the past, we remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Well, they could not have known that they'd be called on to storm a beach through a hail of gunfire. They did it in the fight for freedom. Well, they could not have imagined raiding a desert land in search of an elusive enemy. They did it to uphold the values of our Constitution. Well, they prepared to leave this world for a foreign one. They did it with love for their country. It is this sense of service that has made them heroes. And that is why it is our honor to pray for them and for their families, to remember them each day as heroes, and to commemorate their lives as not the fallen, but the revered. The revered have not only fought for this country, they've not only protected our way of life, but they showed us what it means to be an American. They showed us that Americans are people who believe in freedom, who embrace equality, who demand justice, and who act for the betterment of humanity. They showed us that Americans never back down in the face of hardship, but we stand up to face it head on. When our nation was fed up with oppression and tyranny, our founding fathers stood up. When our country sank into depression, our government stood up. When America was on the brink of war, our soldiers, our Air Force men, our Navy men, and our Marines stood up. Each and every one of us here today is a living testament for what those men and women died for. So let us continue to show them that they did not die in vain. Let us show them through our actions. Let us be the Americans they fought to protect. Today we witness the greatest memorial to a group of people who deserve no less. When those men stormed the beaches of Normandy, they were thinking of their children, their wives, their neighbors, and all of you. When those men and women stood up to defend American ideals in the Far East, they were thinking about freedom, liberty, equality, and life. And as we speak, the men and women in Iraq and Afghanistan are fighting the same fight. We need to be there for them as much as they were here for us. With each death, our heart breaks. But it is up to us to not only mourn, but to commemorate. We need to carry on their stories for every generation to come. We need to tell them what it is like to send a child overseas to see a spouse overcome unprecedented attacks, to see a sibling in a place where life is rare. It is now our duty to be the Americans they fought to protect. Today we witness the greatest memorial to a group of people who deserve no less. A soldier is not a person who is destined to fight, but a person who chose to change the world. A soldier never retires, never loses their pride, never stops caring, and never gives up. Heroes are not those buff-looking characters in comic books. Sure, those men and women were brave, courageous, determined. They had fortitude, and they always made some sacrifice. But they didn't really appear in our lives. Our heroes may not have superpowers, but they're always here for us when we call upon them. Our heroes are the men and women in Iraq and Afghanistan. Our heroes are those who stood up to defeat communism and protect America. Heroes are those who stood up and fought. Heroes are those who could not be with us today. A true hero does not need a cape. All of you have proved that. You have shown every American what a true hero is. All too often, we find our heroes in the wrong places. Well, today, I'm here to tell you that you are my heroes. America's heroes. Although this is a title that may not come from the armed forces, it comes from the bottom of America's heart. And so today, America says thank you. I would like to take a moment to remember the soldiers that are currently fighting against terror and wish them a safe and successful return home. I'd also like to thank Mr. Dick Amrine, Mr. Chuck Lincolnheld, and Mr. Thomas Nana for introducing me to the American Legion. And last but not least, I would like to thank all of you for allowing me to address you today. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to stand in front of people that make such a huge difference in our society. Thank you.